I know there's been times in all of our lives when we've planned for different events. I know that when I was a kid, I used to write the name of what I thought my future children were going to be. And I used to plan on when I date a guy, I'd write his name down. I'd write Joy and then whatever his last name was. We all plan for special events, but how often do we plan for emergency events or something that we're not prepared for, maybe a life-threatening or life-changing event? Well, when I was growing up, my father told me, he said, Kirsty, quit. What? I gotta start over.
No, you don't.
Really...
4 minutes.
No, I have to start over.
Okay, go.
I wasn't even doing anything.
Yes, you was just
You gotta
smiling.
restart the video now.
No, I'll
Yes.
I can edit it in photo edit.
Well, do, go.
Go.
How many times in our lives do we plan for special events? I know that most of us do. Most of us. This is awful. You know what? Because my teacher's going to be watching all of your reactions.
I know, I'm trying so hard. And it's not if you're actually doing really good, but it's just so hard because I don't know.
Because you don't know?
I don't know because...
Okay, take three.
Take three.
All right. How many times in each of our lives do we plan for that special event? Bill!
How many times we plan for that special event? So fast, 'cause she's still
I feel like it's so close. Maybe it's because we're so close.
We're close.
I don't know. We are really
close. The first time in years.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Now let's go, sister.
All right. And you guys have to really try not to look at me because she's going to want, you know, real reactions. So
Okay.
just for a minute, just try to be a Becca. Okay? Try to be a Becca. All right. I know there's times in each of our lives that everybody plans for that special event. For something in the future. We plan for college. We're going to plan for our babies. Plan for our weddings. And I know when I was a kid, when I'd be dating a guy, I'd think, I wonder what it would be like when we got married. And I'd write my name and then his last name to see what it would look like. Those are things that we plan for. But did we plan for the unexpected? I know when my father taught me growing up, he'd say, always plan for the unexpected. Always expect the unexpected. Which helped me. And I'm going to tell you a situation that happened to me when I lived in California when I was a kid that helped me. I remember I was just a little over 21 and I had gone out all night with some friends of mine. And we lived by the beach. And after I went out, I was by myself. And back in those days, we had the mini skirts and went down and decided I was going to go for a walk on the beach. And it was about 3 o'clock in the morning. So as I pulled up to the beach, I remember seeing a basketball goal. And there was some kids playing basketball. And then a couple others sitting on the bench right next to where the basketball goals were. To get to the water was about a half-a-mile walk from where my car was, all through the sand. And there's no street lights or anything out there. It's just sand walking all the way down to the water. So here I start walking across the water with no shoes on, barefoot in the sand, going to take my little foot walk in the water. Well, I made it all the way down to the water's edge, and I could still hear in the distance the people playing basketball. I had this funny feeling, and I turned around, and there was a man standing, I would say probably 5 feet from me. And in between his hands was a white rope wrapped around both hands. And my immediate reaction, I looked at his hands, and then I looked at him, and I was like, hey, how's it going? And he said, oh, fine, what are you doing? And I said, oh, I'm just here with my friends playing basketball. And I had remembered seeing them up there, and I thought of planning in the future, so I had always thought of an escape route. So I immediately said, I'm with those people up there. Well, he dropped the rope. I remember his hands went side by to his side, and he said, you're not with them. And I said, yes, I am. Those are my friends, and they're waiting for me. Well, he looked at me, and then he looked back at his friends. He took a couple steps towards me, and my reaction was to reach over and give him a hug, to throw him off and say, I gotta go, because he was already within my space. And as I hugged him, I think he was so thrown off by my situation that he just let me go, and I turned around and walked. I didn't run. I just continued to walk towards my friends. Well, when I got to my car, I drove off and didn't realize the significance of what I had done until later in life. When I looked back on that, it could have been a very ugly situation. I had even got online to look and see if during that year, how many girls were missing in the area that I lived in. And there was approximately 4 girls that had been abducted in the same area in that neighborhood that I lived in. So the moral, I guess, is if you expect the unexpected and always plan that what if I'm here, what if somebody comes out to my car, what if anything, you always have that in the back of your mind, and instead of acting on a unprepared plan, you're going to have something. Just like I remembered those people playing basketball. That's the first thing that came to my mind when he asked me what I was doing there. So, being prepared, not for just your good events, but being prepared for anything is good. So, thank you very much.
That was good.
Good job.
Whatever. Story.
I didn't imagine.
Yay, go me!